we're going to do, no tips on,
no taxes on tips.
No taxes on tips. Yeah, sorry. And then now, of course, now she's doing it. You know what I mean? Now she wants to be harder on the border, right? Mm-hmm. But the whole time when she was vice president, and that's her job as a, as a border czar, whatever you want to call it, she's not tough on it at all. You know what I mean? So basically, you're just trying, really, to me, you're just trying to trick us to steal votes. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a bunch of fabrication and a bunch of lies that the Democrats party are trying to feed it. Maybe it's not her. You know what I mean? I just think maybe it's just the party itself is just trying to trick us for some reason, instead of, whatever you stand on, stand on. If you stand on, killing babies at 9 months, to stand on that. Don't try to, sugarcoat it. Whatever you stand and let us choose. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Corey, President Obama says that there's no good reason for black men to vote for Donald Trump. And this woman is saying that she knows black men that have good reasons. Your friends in your circle of black men, what are they? Give me 2 good reasons why they are not voting for, Kamala Harris.
In my personal circle, I don't know of anybody that is not planning on voting for her. In my professional circle, I have a multitude of people that plan on not voting.
So the people that got jobs don't want to vote for her.
But what's been expressed to me, it seems like a lot of it is they just don't agree with her policies.
Give me an example. I know you hear this at least once a week.
Yeah.
Because we're being told that they're not valid reasons.
No. So she has policies, right? I mean, you can just go to her campaign page and it'll lay out what her policies are. Now, whether you choose to not agree with them or not is a totally different argument. But she has policies. And the associates that I work with that don't plan on voting for her, a lot of them are Republicans. So obviously they don't agree with
Black Republicans. The fabled Black Republican does exist.
Yeah. So this isn't a uprising of Democrats that I work with that are not voting for her. They're just Republicans that.
What are they saying?
They just don't agree with her policies.
They just don't like her, so they just won't vote for her. No logic. And as far as we know, they could just not like women. That's what you're saying.
There could be other things, but a lot of it just falls on the policies, right?
Probably with the child deletion policy, right. The LGBTQIA plus policies,
the border stuff, the economy, basically the yin and yang, right? Republicans over here
versus Democrats. Typical arguments.
The typical arguments. So.
Okay. Jay Hawk, your circle. Why are they not voting for Kamala Harris? People are saying, to include President Obama, that there are no valid reasons why anyone wouldn't vote for her. What are those supposed valid reasons?
There's a lot of reasons. It's kind of divided with my friend circle as well. It's about 50-50, but it started before she even started talking about policies. It was more just authenticity. People feeling like they're being lied to. The track record for the last, for the time that they were in office now, they just don't see anything different coming in the next, with another 4 years. They just feel like it'd be the same. So that's most, okay. Or people talk about the most, I should say.
All right. DEI hire. What are you hearing in your circle as the 2 reasons why the votes just aren't coming in for Kamala?
Well, the good news is I don't have a circle. If I do, it's very small. But I want everybody to feel good. So you should feel good with whatever direction you want to go in.
Oh, here we go. DEI. He's playing.
We're gonna make things better.
Right. I can hear the sarcasm.
So that right. Yeah, you're good. So that's probably reason one.
They want to feel.
Not often.
They don't want to feel good.
No policy. Just a whole bunch of general statements with no actual direction of what road you're going to travel to get there. There is a sentiment that If you talk to your peer group one-on-one, they will hint that there is some friction between the fact that she's just a woman.
She's what? Just a woman?
But that won't be announced in a larger circle.
Mm.
So there is
Okay.
that sentiment going around. So that,
Well-
yes, that does exist. But I think the big thing is, and confirming what the others have already said, and whether she's posting a policy, she's not delivering it or giving me the microwave version that I need to hear in a 30-second commercial. I don't need to feel good. I need my life to be better.
I remember somebody.
Yeah.
I want to throw mine in too, DK. But if you want to throw something in real quick.
Nah, yeah, just real quick. You know what I mean? And I have seen some of her policies, and like they are on the website. You're right, and I've seen some of them, but a lot of them seem just unattainable, right? So, and I'm just giving an example. This is like a hypothetical. You know, if she says, "Hey, if I win, I'm gonna give everybody $1 million if the Congress passes it." I didn't say that. No, I'm not saying she said that. But what I'm saying is, but you can say something. You could say
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So I'm saying you could say whatever you want to say, knowing that there's no possibility of this happening. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of her policies are full of these things, like, hey, we're gonna give $50,000 to okay, I got you. $50,000 to whatever business owners at tax breaks. But what's the real take on that?
Tax credit.
Yeah. I mean, how does that really work? It sounds good just to say it, but yeah, but to be honest, what does it really look like? You know what I mean? And it looks like it's not going to get passed if she would win.
Somebody has to pass those laws.
So what people are saying that they're wanting her to break down exactly how she's going to implement the policies, in addition to telling you what the policies are.
No, it's not that. I'm just saying. I just think when she's saying a policy, right? I just think that she has no thought of. I think she knows that. Hey, this probably won't work, but it sounds good. Like that's what I feel about her policies.
Just be exact with it. The $50,000 tax credit to start. It doesn't even make sense. You can't start a business with a tax credit. So that's not even going to go.
You got to spend $50,000 first.
Yeah, and it's not possible anyways. The thing is, it's not.
Let me throw something in real quick.
We can't afford that. Go ahead.
I'm a business owner. I have a few businesses. I'm a veteran. I'm a minority, 8A status. For folks who knows what that means. Both administrations, Obama, Trump, even Biden's administration, I have never got a single penny from the U.S. government through the Small Business Administration or otherwise. Not even a grant. And I have vigilantly applied for these things. SBA, I have only been given the runaround, VIP program, everything. And I'm a disabled veteran. So maybe Kamala has something new that she can do. But I don't believe, and this is me, I'm jaded with this because I've tried under 3 different administrations, going on 4 now, if she wins. I ain't never got a penny from the government. And most people I know have never gotten money. Some of the people on this podcast I've started businesses with, and we weren't able to get any money from the government when we started our businesses. And to me, it's a red herring for any administration, so I don't know. And I want to also get back to what my friends are saying once Jimmy gets his stuff in there. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was raising my hand. To say, just like you, I'm a minority business owner, veteran, all the, check all the boxes. $100 PPP loan.
Oh, I did get a PPP loan. I got $2,000 for that, and I paid it back like 3 months later. I did get a PPP loan.
I got denied in the infancy of my business for $7,500. So like you said, I never won anything from the government anyways. But I said, I'll try it, and I did it.
So what are we talking about here, right? Is the business credit, right? Does it just not exist?
No, it doesn't. What happens is
it's not. It would never happen. It would never happen.
Well, what happens is, and maybe someone in the comments can articulate this better than me. they allot a lot of that money over to banks through a loaning process. I've sat down and talked to loan officers. They pretty much, at the end of the day, they only want to loan or give money to people who are already successful. But when the last person a bank is trying to give money to is a company that's just starting out, the red tape, the hoops you have to jump through, the impracticality of trying to do that is a Herculean effort. Like I said, I've never gotten money from any startup that I've ever done, So like I said, the PPP loan did come out. I got immediately approved for that, and they weren't even watching for me paying for it, but I paid it back. So I don't know. So when I hear another candidate saying they're going to give small businesses money, and she says it has to be a new business, it makes me a little bit suspicious. But I wanted also to talk about.
But it's not real quick. It's not money. It's a tax credit.
Yeah.
So you don't see it. It doesn't help you start the business.
You're breaking up a little, Jimmy. You might have to get closer to your mic.
You just don't have to pay the tax.
But it's not $50,000. Right. It's not $50,000 to help you buy. To help you start your business. It's $50,000 at the end of the first year.
Right.
You have to spend that money first.
Just one other thing. Exactly, and the $25,000 first-time home buyers. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
all they're going to do is throw it on the price of the house. Yeah, so it's so take and flush down the toilet because they don't even make sense.
If you're a realtor and you know that couples have access to $25,000, somehow that house is magically going to be $25,000 more expensive. I went in to buy a Tesla recently, guys, and there's a $7,500 tax credit, or not a tax credit, but I think it's like a federal credit.
Tax credit.
You going to tell me Tesla hasn't baked that already into their pricing scheme?
It's on their website.
Yeah. So they're giving people a $7,500 credit, but that car may also be $7,500 more expensive, or at least $2,000 or $3,000. So there's a little game being played, and when you're given a tax credit, somebody also usually has to pay for that, which means if I'm using that Tesla tax credit or that credit in general, the U.S. government is paying Tesla the difference because it's an EV vehicle and they want to stimulate EV growth. So we got to be very careful. Now, does it benefit people? When it came to the Tesla credit, spoiler alert, I got a Tesla and it's going to be cheaper. But for the government, they still have to pay for that through taxpayer dollars. You guys are paying for my Tesla, at least in part.
So
thank you very much.
All politicians do this, right? So
which is fine.
Carrot, right? Put the carrot out there. How I'm going to make this happen, I don't know, but it sounds good, and I'm going to get votes. Trump did the same thing. I'm going to build a beautiful wall, and Mexico's
going to pay for that wall,
right? And who ends up paying for it? Me. Our tax dollars. Mexico paid for none of that, right? And that's just one example. So it's. All politicians do this, right? You just put the stuff out there and it sounds good. And some things you're actually able to implement, and a lot of it you're not.
Guys, like the video,
Corey,
share.
But real quick. Can I jump in this? 9 years ago, in 2015, when Donald Trump was at that debate, and he mentioned building the wall, immigration's an issue. We need to stop all these rapists, these murderers, and he was crazy.
No. I'm not saying.
So at this point, if I'm paying for the wall, I'm okay paying for the wall for myself to keep them out.
Uh-oh.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
And that's a good segue into what my friends are saying. Of course, the vast majority are Democrats, so whatever goes is with them. I'm not a Democrat, Republican, or independent, by the way, but the vast majority have very big issues with the alphabet, LGBTQIA plus community. They feel that there is a big issue with the openness to transing children, to making that the processes for doing that a little bit more easier for people, the lack of moral pushback, the fact that Kamala Harris is not a Christian. She has never professed to be a Christian as far as a born again Christian, and does not seem to really have a a Christian background. We've never heard her talk about Christ at all. In addition to that, people have been very cautious about her lack of interest in putting out policy, even though she seemed to be doing better according to what Corey has just reported to us. And also avoiding the media has been a big thing. Also, seems to be a little bit uncomfortable on camera when it comes down to getting easy questions. So what's going to happen when she has to stand face to face with a Vladimir Putin, or Zhang Ping, or whoever the case may be, Xi Jinping, whatever his guy's name is? There's a lot of concern that it may go good with liberal media, but it may not go good with people who want us dead. And of course, the big thing is the border. I do not believe, personally, I agree with my friends, I don't think that she cares one bit about those people coming across the border, to include Tim Walz. We have like 10 to 15 million illegal immigrants. That's the entire population of Democratic Republic coming into our country in like a 2 or 3 year period, guys. That's crazy. That's crazy. And we don't know who these people are. And not only are my friends upset about that, I'm from Ohio, Springfield. I called my buddies and like, hey, is this really happening in Springfield? Not talking about eating cats and dogs, but they definitely eating geese over there. So you have that issue going on. But the fact that the migrants and the Haitians who are coming there, they're coming here legally. But there still is this resentment in a town of 30 to 40,000 people, getting 20,000 people who have not been acclimated to American life and can't even speak the language. Now they got driver's license and they're running over trash cans and killing people driving. So there is a lot of issues. And these are from Black people that are saying this, Black men that are like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but there's a problem here. One of my cousins, a barber, was telling us about this. So those are just a handful of issues.
The Haitians, what's their dominant religion?
Well, most Haitians would consider themselves to be Christian in general, but there is a lot of Christian mysticism that comes with voodoo too. When I was there doing mission trips to Haiti, they knew that our compound was a Christian compound, and the witch doctors would chant at night and march around pronouncing curses on us while we were there. That ain't happening in New Jersey.
Did they do any sacrifices or anything when you guys were there?
God knows what they were doing out there. We just know that we heard drums at night, and that's what was going on. It was a spiritual protest about us being there, helping the children and the people of the community.
Yeah,
in the name of Jesus.
But with voodoo comes sacrifices.
Well, there is in every religion.
So
go ahead.
When we talk about the eating of dogs and cats, I don't think they were being eaten, but all kinds of different animals being sacrificed because they have daily sacrificial ceremonies.
Well, that may happen.
Voodoo.
That may happen.
The pigeons, the geese, or whatever. It was happening.
No, they're eating the geese. They're eating the geese.
Well,
they're eating the geese and slaughtering them. You don't. They're living. A lot of the Haitian refugees, or not, I guess you can call them refugees. Some of them are displaced along the cisterns and also the dams and things like that, and they're just taking the geese out of the local area. They're not afraid of people. The geese around where I live at, they'll walk right in front of you. They're just taking the geese and they're eating them. In my opinion, that's what it seems like, because they're slaughtering them according to what I've seen in video. They're slaughtering them on the spot. If you're doing a sacrifice, it's a little bit more elaborate. You're not going to do a sacrifice right there on the spot and clean and field dress an animal. If that makes sense. It's crazy what you're talking about.
Saying is I think there might be a cultural divide or whatever you want to call it, but that may be part of the issue. But it's things just you get that headline. It's always the headline. There's never a deep dive, especially in deeper dive. But then you have to watch what you don't know what you can trust. But with just the media in general, we never get a deep dive. We get headlines. We get scratch the surface. It just gives us a little bit of information, and we don't have good context with that either. So like with the animals in Springfield, There probably is some truth to it. There probably is something, but
you want to see the evidence, right?
It made me a little deeper dive. Yeah. So,
but at the end of the day, it's going to be a little bit of a shock for any community and those who are, ingressing to that community of 30, 40,000 people. And now you have 15 to 20 people from a different country, different language. Someone can't even speak English. That's going to be tough. Now, I don't have a problem with those Haitians being there. They came through the system legally, but it's just another issue that when people see it in one dimension, these migrants are invading, small town USA. When you hear about Springfield, The Simpsons, that's based off of Springfield, Ohio, plus a little bit of imagination. So this is small town USA. And you see the same things in Aurora, Colorado, where the apartment building was taken over by the Venezuelans and the Venezuelan gangs, and the resources in New York, where a lot of the immigrants from different parts of Latin America and all over the world, some of them are flying from China to Mexico, Middle Eastern countries and African countries, flying into Mexico and walking across the border. And now you have some of the more the Latin community, they're living off the government's dime in 5-star hotels, receiving room service every day. And then a lot of my friends, for example, are seeing what's happening with these hurricanes, and they only get $750. It's driving people crazy. It's driving people crazy. And I think that's one big reason why a lot of black men are like, they're pushing us to the back of the line. A lot of these resources should have been for our communities, our community outreach programs. Our community centers are being used to house refugees now. Police stations were being used for the same thing, and those were illegal aliens. So now you can't go to the local, we used to call it the friendly house. You can't go there because illegal aliens are staying there, and that really rubs people the wrong way. And I think that Kamala Harris, and in my opinion of her, in my heart of hearts, I don't think she cares about that. I think that she feels that that's the kind of country we should be.
Yeah, and
not the bad stuff that comes with it, but I think she legitimately believes that immigration should be something that should be a right for all people.